Hey, welcome to it. You already know what it is, man. It's your What More Can I Say podcast, episode 62. Woo! We've done a lot of episodes. Yeah, that's right. You already should know us by now. And if you don't, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Tory Kapone, and I got to give it up to the first lady of the pod, the only lady of the pod, Keke. What's up?
What's up, fellas? How are you?
We good, Keke.
That's good. That's good. Everybody looks blessed.
Keke, now, I always notice when something new, it looks like you and your hairdresser worked it out.
Well, yeah, I had to try out a new one this time, okay? My other girl, she's very rich right now, very booked, very busy, living her best life, and, I love to see it. But, honey, I had to take that little queen like Keke had to get her a break. So, I went to a new dresser. Shout out Flanisha, Miss Fee. She gave me this nice little pony here. So, she's dope. Check her out. I put her on my Instagram.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Slick down. I see you.
No, I gotta ask you this. Because I put my wife on a new hairdresser last week, right?
Uh-huh.
And she got a pony too. So is that just like the safe thing to do when you got a new person?
It is. It's the first thing you try out. Yes, it's absolutely the first thing you try out with a new hairdresser. You don't let nobody get the sewing in your head and you don't know what they're capable of yet.
Yeah.
You try a little pony. If that don't work, you snatch her off and keep on going. But that's definitely what you try for the first time. Mm-hmm.
She did the exact same thing.
Yes.
Zach Boog, man. Hey, Magic Silly Mondays has been going pretty well for you, bro, huh?
Yeah, man, it's a good time. If you have not been out to Magic Silly Mondays yet, you missing out, man. Come on out, get these laughs. I got great comedians coming up, man. Huge shout out to DJ Mike P. He keeps it lit. He's DJing throughout the night. I mean, it's just a dope night, especially on a Monday. Come out, laugh, man. Come on, have a good time.
Absolutely. Sure. All right, man, let's go ahead and jump right into the pod for the pod fam. I'm going to start off with this, the Donda event. Kanye West is going crazy, listening party. Everybody's flying to Atlanta. He fills up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is crazy, just to watch him press play on his phone and walk around in a winter jacket in the summertime with a whole face mask on. Let's just talk about the event. Let's go ahead. Zach, what were you thinking, man?
I mean, when I first saw it, I said, this is absolutely amazing. 75,000 people for a listening party in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's legendary in itself. Hats off to Kanye for that, just to be able to pull that off, that many people care about listening to your new album. That's ridiculous, okay? Next thing is, I want to let y'all know that Keke was absolutely right. Keke, props off to you. Keke on the last pod, episode 61, she told us, she said, I don't think Kanye gonna come out with the album on Friday. She said, ain't no telling when it's gonna come out because Kanye is unpredictable. And Keke was absolutely right.
Yes.
I knew it was gonna come out Friday. I mean, he had a listening party. He even had a commercial with Sha'Carri Richardson saying that the album dropped on Friday, and he still didn't drop it on Friday. Kanye don't give a damn. Okay. Now Kanye is living in Mercedes-Benz Stadium with one outfit.
Yeah.
He got one outfit. He done wore it. I saw the outfit he wore last Thursday at the listening party. I've seen it. I saw it Saturday. I saw it the day after. He got one outfit in there. Somebody bring Kanye some clothes. Because he ain't changed. He has not changed. Oh, he's so locked in on this album. But I think it's going to be dope, man. But that's all I got to say about it. That's it. Keke was absolutely right about him not dropping it. It was very disappointing.
Keke, feeling yourself after being white, right? What do you think?
I mean, Zach said it all. I agree with him about the outfit. Like, somebody got to come for breeze that damn jacket down. Because you go to a party and you try to keep your outfit together so you keep your jacket on. But you get home, you be musty. Jacket just hot sticking to you. Like, Kanye, that's very nasty. We love the art that you about to give us, but you can wash your ass. I promise you it's going to be okay.
Please.
Outside outside of that, you know, I was really loving seeing Kim Kardashian be there. And, you know, Kim was like, I'm going to stick beside him. Like, you know, she was there as a proud baby mama. She was not letting none of these other chicks get any of the shine, the light, any of that. She came and brought all the kids. You know, normally when y'all first break up and your baby mama want to come support you, she may bring just the oldest. But no, Kim brought all them badass. She was like, we in here, okay? She brought the whole crew. She brought Chloe as a security guard because you know if she got to throw hands with somebody, Chloe gonna ride. So she brought her with her. And you know, it was nice seeing them be so friendly and her be, you know, standing there together. I don't think she was gonna miss any of this limelight with this album. Now, also, I love seeing Jay-Z on the album. Okay, his verse, like, I don't even need the rest of the album. His verse when he talks about Kanye and the red hat and how he had, you know, they had to fix their friendship and he kept it all the way real. You know, I love a transparent Jay-Z. I like when Jay-Z give us the real, you know what I'm saying? He only talks to us every 3-4 years, but when he do, it always be nice. So I was excited to see that. So, you know, whenever I feel like Kanye is not going to drop this album until Drake does something, like he's like trolling Drake at this point. You know what I'm saying? We already at the end of July. Drake was supposed to drop an album this summer. Kanye may ride this thing out to, you know, the end of August and be like, okay, here go the album. So, you know, I don't know when y'all gonna get the album, but I just keep going back listening to the little Jay-Z clip, and that's enough for me.
Yeah. I can tell you this, Kanye West is 100%, he is 1000% trolling Drake because he's a Gemini like me. And even though he might say publicly that everything is cool between him and Drake, nah, it ain't cool between him and Drake. I'm saying it's not gonna ever be cool, so he's trolling. Next, the album. We need to have the album, yay. Stop playing with us, bro. But I understand the pressure because if this album sucks, it's gonna be bad. But it looks like everybody's saying it's super good. He just wants to add the final touches to it because he's perfectionist. Next, Kim Kardashian. She is probably, this is probably the first time in a long time that Kanye West has had the upper hand in this relationship. When you, as a person, can get 75,000 people to come listen to you press play, plus over 300 million people watching on streaming services, you feeling like something crazy. And she's probably like, oh snap, he is about to be that Kanye again. Uh-oh. I cannot, like you said, Keke, Kanye gonna have every woman in the world coming after him. And she like, nah, I ain't going. Y'all not gonna get none of this. Y'all not getting none of this shine. I'm standing here. And that was the funny part. I was like, she brought all the kids. She was like,
look at all these kids. You want him? All these kids come with him. That's how baby mama, when they want to shut something down and they know you bringing your new girlfriend, they bring in all the kids. They like, look at all the kids. Look at this. Yeah. So
and the kids, the family members, you got it was definitely a great chess move by Kim Kardashian. And then lastly, man, damn, yay. There's something my grandma used to say. And as a man, I've tried it once or twice when I was younger because you want to wear that outfit. Remember my grandma saying this. If you put on dirty clothes, even though you clean, you're dirty again. Don't matter. It does not matter if you take a shower. Once you put back on dirty clothes, you're dirty again. And yay, you walking around here like dirty folks. Cut it out, bro. And the people that are around him, cut it out, fam. I know you want to keep being around, yay, but it got to smell like a bag of goats in that locker room with Ye in those same clothes. And it's not even a t-shirt and shorts. It's a winter jacket and a face mask in hot ass Atlanta in the summertime. Stop it, bro.
He done had it on since Thursday, just by the way, today. Just want to let you know, he done had it on since Thursday.
Man, I'm talking everything on that brother Muskie. You got to cut it out. I know he might have a bunch of the same outfits. I doubt it. I just think he's just trying to troll us. Like, I'm just gonna be in my inner self or whatever he's gonna do. But we sick of seeing that same ass outfit, fam. Cut it out. All right. This next thing, man, I'm starting to believe that Lil Uzi Vert is probably Soulja Boy's cousin. Some type of relation because he's capping a lot. It's a lot of cap coming with Lil Uzi Vert. It's a lot. It's a lot. Lil Uzi Vert said that he bought a planet. He also put the pink diamond in his head, and he got a tattoo on his tongue. Now, I'm not hating, but I'm just like, damn, bro. Damn. Keke, what's up?
I mean, do we care that he bought a planet? Like, this didn't move me. Him saying that didn't move me. I was like, you know how you got that half friend and just be talking like he's like, you know, buddy slow. Just don't pay him no attention. You know, that's how I feel about Uzi. I don't get moved by anything. When he put the diamond in his head, like, okay, you know, what does that do? Like, you got a planet, you offering Section 8. Like, what is the value to anybody in the hood? Like, nobody cares. Nobody, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we don't care about your planet. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to survive here on Earth and stay away from the corona. So I don't have any.
But why? But Keke, why say that stupid shit? Why say like? And some people are going to believe that this dude bought a planet. Jeff Bezos just went up and down in his space, and he is the richest dude on the planet. If anybody bought a planet, it'd be Jeff, but not Lil Uzi Vert. And nobody, listen, anybody that's watching this pod that think that he has a $24 million diamond stuck dead in the middle of his head, y'all are fools, literally fools.
I don't believe any of it. Like, I got 3 cousins who say dumb stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got their PPP loans and like, cuz, you know I'm about to own the strip mall. Like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
The strip mall.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to buy a strip mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, cuz I got a transportation business. Like, you drive Uber. No, you don't. Like, stop. So it's like, I'm used to that one person who just be capping and lying. And Uzi is the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. Uzi, that's, you know, he's just capping. That's all.
Yeah. Zach, you think he a cap? Am I going too hard on Lil Uzi Vert?
Absolutely not. That's so much cap in his rap. You think Lil Uzi Vert bought a planet? Where you buy it from? You don't even know where to buy a planet from. Off Amazon. Matter of fact, let me tell you something, Lil Uzi Vert. Whoever sold you that planet, I got one for you half price. Just for you. Ain't no way Lil Uzi Vert bought a planet. He think how you buy something you ain't see. You ain't been to space. You ain't seen the planet. You ain't never walked on the planet. They told you they lying. They know that you stupid enough to buy it. I told him I had a planet. You know, they told, oh, what you told me you had a planet? How much you charge me? $400,000. You know, he paid $400,000. I don't know how much he paid for the planet, but I'm gonna tell you something. How did he see it? Did they just point and it was like, yeah, it's that one? You know, it's right over there. Like, who buys stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't believe he bought a planet. No way, shape, or form. Lil Uzi Vert is lying.
And the thing of it is, I actually have had arguments with people over Lil Uzi Vert. They're like, I think Lil Uzi Vert got a bag. He is definitely a top streaming artist. For sure. Definitely when he does a show, he definitely is getting a bag. But when Forbes releases the top performing artist for that year, he's not in the top 10. He's not in the top 10. So for everybody that thinks this is real, the only thing that's real is that tattoo on his tongue. Now, that's going to become a thing. And whoever goes through that, God bless you. A tattoo on your tongue, I can tell you, I got plenty of them. It ain't nobody putting a needle on my tongue. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. And I almost think that the tattoo on the tongue might be capped too.
Thank you. Children, let this be a lesson. Stop believing everything you see on the internet, okay? Everything you see on the timeline. These people be real big cappers, big actors. Don't believe it.
This what makes me think though, for real. I'm a kid. I love what the culture is right now. But the only part about it is with social media, because I think they're under so much pressure because they fans can get right at them all the time, is that they just have to do crazy stuff. Like they have to say and do crazy stuff. I'm on a planet. Look at this diamond that's in my head. Instead of just making music. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm step back, I'm gonna make me some hits, and then I'm gonna get back out here. And when they don't either feel like making music or they ain't got a hit record, I got a diamond on my forehead. Look at my mouth. I got a tattoo on my tongue. I bought a planet. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like the WWE. That's the only part I don't like about the new stuff. Like when people had beef back when hip hop in the 90s and early 2000s, it was real beef. It got really, really bad. And when you saw artists, they were doing crazy stuff because something crazy was happening. They weren't just out here just like doing interviews and saying wild shit to people, which makes
I don't know, Tom. People back in the day was doing crazy stuff too.
What?
Bruh. Dennis Rodman was crazy. He was doing a lot of wild stuff.
Dennis Rodman is a crazy person, for real.
In real life, he ain't acting.
He ain't acting, bro. He's not acting.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. You're saying if you was crazy back then, you was really crazy.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson did crazy stuff.
Right.
Guess
He
what?
crazy.
He crazy.
Yes.
He crazy.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes was snapping on people. Guess what? Busta Rhymes got anger problems. He do.
It wasn't a clout thing, is what you're saying. It was about, now, I'm really crazy. I'm off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Diddy, that's why Drake got touched up by Diddy, because he thought it was a game. Diddy not playing with you. Diddy from them early 2000s and the 90s. He gonna put hands on you, bro. That's how they live. This stuff is just like they say something wild on the internet and then it's over. It is, speaking of that, it's like when Meek Mill said that when they said the album was, because like we were saying, Justin LA Boy was saying about Ye's album being a classic and whatever, right? And Meek was saying that's cap. Meek didn't have to say that because Meek, he just didn't have to say it. He didn't have to say it. Meek is nowhere, even in the stratosphere of Kanye West. Meek could not fill, I guarantee you, Meek can only fill up the House of Blues for a listening party.
Ooh.
The House of Blues. That's 1,500 strong.
The shade.
You think you could get 20,000 people to come listen to a new Meek Mill album?
No, not a listening party.
A listen, no performance, just pressing play and walking around with a mask on and a coat.
No, not me. Only Ye can do that. Ye probably the biggest artist in the world. Let's be real. It's like it's Beyonce, and then it's Kanye, and they on the same level.
Oh, let me think about Keke. Did he say something crazy?
Yeah, like when you say
no, Kanye's the biggest artist in the world. Nobody else made the world stop. He made the world stop.
Beyonce makes the world stop anytime she gets
That's
ready.
who I said. I said
she
Beyonce.
Makes the world stop when she posts an Instagram photo. Like
no, I said Beyonce. Kanye does. I said Beyonce and Kanye. They're the same level.
So is Kanye bigger than Jay-Z?
Yeah. Wow. Kanye's bigger than Jay-Z right now.
Damn. I might have to say I agree with you.
I get why you say that. I'm not comfortable with
I'm sorry.
like, I'm not comfortable. That made me very uncomfortable, but I understand.
I understand it makes you uncomfortable, but Kanye has made himself bigger than Jay-Z right now. Only person that I can see is comparable to Kanye is Beyonce.
Yes.
That's it. There's nobody else in that stratosphere of artists.
Can we move
on? He randomly said, I'm getting ready to come out with Donda.
He did?
Randomly. Like, hey, I'm about to drop an album. Everybody says they're going to drop an album. Drake can't do that. And he's Drake. And then it was like, come to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 75.
Drake could fill up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Let me tell you something. Drake got to perform, though. Drake got to perform.
Nah. I honestly think Drake could get 75,000 people to come listen to his new album.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yes.
Let me ask y'all this. If Drake and Kanye drop on the same day, who's gonna have the most streams?
Drake, bro.
Yay.
Drake is the God MC for. You gotta think about it.
I would say Kanye because we're mysterious. We don't know what to expect from Kanye. We don't know what we're gonna get. We don't know if we're getting gospel, rap, rock. We don't know what he's gonna do. Drake, we know what's there. We know. So the thing about Kanye is, and what puts him above everybody else is that it's the gimmicks. It's the, and it's really not gimmicks. Like it's
not a gimmick. It's just
it's his genius, right? It's his president run. It's the fashion line. It's the relationship with Kim. It's the the Wyoming run, the church stuff. We are addicted to Kanye.
But that's only because he's so big, Keke. That's what I'm trying to say. We act like it's gimmicks, but it's just that we care that much about Kanye. It's that much.
But I'm telling you, we care because we never know what we gonna get. You know what I'm saying? If
we care
never know
because
what we get from Kanye.
He's embedded in us. He's embedded in our, Kanye is more embedded in the culture than any other rapper.
I'm not comfortable with you saying embedded.
About embedded and all that. I just think Kanye we don't know what we gonna get. He like a
jacket. We're emotionally attached. Whether y'all believe it or not, we're emotionally attached.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Kanye does stuff about Trump and all that, it took us down. Okay, we were like, no, yay, not you, because we care that much.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Drake can put out shoes all he wants. They won't sell like Yeezys.
I agree.
They just won't do it. Kanye is that I know it doesn't seem like it because we talk about him so, but he's really embedded in our culture since 2003. He just continues to grow and grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. He announced Donda a week out, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop Donda, and the world stopped. We was like, oh, which Kanye we gonna get? Hope we get the old Kanye. We can't wait.
That's what I'm saying.
We turn into things. He's the biggest artist in the world right now. You just gotta call it what it is.
I'm still not comfortable saying that I think Drake can do musically everything that Ye's doing in that way.
We don't care as much.
I think the part where Ye becomes culturally bigger than Drake is because of the clothing, all the other stuff, like you said. The fact that we talking about, and he did it on purpose, that this fool wore a mask and a winter coat, and who knows, this dude might be genius enough to put little air conditioning things in that big coat to make sure he cool, because he knew we were gonna be like, why are you in a winter coat in Atlanta in 90-degree heat with a face mask on?
Tone. That's only because we care. What I'm trying to say is this: if people have on bad outfits all the time, it's just the fact that Kanye is so culturally relevant that we care. Like, we examine that man from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? What he got on, what he's doing, how he's talking. What did Ye say? Like, he'll put out a tweet and we'll talk about it for 2 weeks. Drake it's just not the same.
No, I agree with you on that part, Zach. I definitely agree with you on that part, because one thing about Kanye, he shapes the culture, right? Yes. So what he wears shapes what we wear for the next 10 years. The type of music he decides to create is what we start seeing for the next couple trends throughout the industry. Drake does not have that type of influence.
Drake hops on the trend.
Thank you. He doesn't have that type of influence. So I see the difference there. But I just feel like we care, and we are like you said, we are connected to Kanye because it's a jack-in-the-box effect. We never know what we're going to expect. Like, we never know what to expect and what we're going to get. So we're addicted to the thrill of winding up the box to see what's going to pop out. You know what I'm saying? But let's not discredit Drake's musical talent, because he is very talented.
No,
I agree with you. I agree with you on that part, that Kanye definitely shapes the culture, so that puts him a step above any other artist.
Well, to be honest, Keke, I like Drake's, like, I might like more Drake songs than I like. No, I can't even say that. But I like Drake's music. Like, I'm never discrediting what Drake does, but Drake hops on trends. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. Mm-hmm. Kanye creates. I'm gonna let you know. I've heard that album. I ain't heard a drum yet. Have y'all? Like, from what I've heard from the listening party, he's making music without drums right now. Did y'all hear anything with a drum in it? It's all like melodies and hi-hats and singing. I ain't heard a beat. I ain't heard a bass, an 808 yet. when he came out with 808 and Heartbreaks, that album sounded so different. And we sound like 808 and Heartbreaks today. It's crazy. Like,
ooh, look at you. You pod, Zach.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm all Yeezy. Yes.
Kanye just.
I see you breaking
dude.
it down. Break it down, Zach.
We just got to give it to him, man. Like, we don't give it to him because he's so wild and like Keke said, so unpredictable. But we're nobody, like, whatever he's doing, we gonna be doing 5 years later, and he gonna be on something else.
Hey, all right, Zach, you came to pod. They caught me off guard. We are doing 808s and Heartbreak right now. Right now, which is nuts. And people hated that album when it first came out. And then after they listened to it, was like, yo, that's not bad.
Right.
That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, man. Speaking of not being bad, man, but it's just always something. The baby performs, having a great time. He's paid money so his fans could see him perform. Then he brings Tory Lanez out, and also he makes homophobic comments. What do y'all got to say about the baby, Zach?
I can't stand it. I mean, this is a prime example of the wow and the shock factor is bigger than the artist. You know, he brought out Tory Lanez, I think, for a shock factor. Because that record is not hot enough that you gotta perform it at Rolling Loud. Nobody knows that record, baby. So you obviously brought him out to say something. Like you wanted to be in the headlines. Didn't he play like some of Meg Thee Stallion song or something wild like that?
Yeah.
Like
he's her song after.
Don't get into that, bro. And now you starting to get into that circus stuff because you want to be a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? Let the music speak for yourself. You should have did Bop. You should have did Suge. You should have did your hits and got off stage. But now you want to do the new song with Tory Lanez. You know who I got getting ready to come out? He made a big deal out of it too. You know, like before he brought him out, it wasn't like he performed the song and then just Tory Lanez came out of nowhere. He was like, you know who I'm about to bring out? That's how I knew he was trying to, you know, be seen and stuff. That's weak, bro. I don't know. He's starting to do weak stuff. I'm not. I used to like the baby, but I'm not saying I don't like him, but it's starting to get to that circus stuff, and I'm not into it.
All right, Keke, what's going on with the baby, man? Performing, bringing out Tory Lanez, who got a shoe throw at him. And that's somebody got to hate you to throw one shoe at your ass because they got to walk around with one shoe. They got to hate you real bad. And then makes homophobic comments, then comes back and tries to explain it again. What are you thinking?
I keep the baby lifted in prayer because I just don't understand. And I stay to my facts. What I said when he first did his collaboration with Tory Lanez. You running around with Tory Lanez is not worth the risk right now where your career is at. Okay. Well, all these, other babies is out here out rapping you, out hitting you, you thought it was a smart move for you to team up with Tory Lanez and he can't do nothing for you at this point. Then you go and share your stage with him. This was the opportunity for you to clean it up. Like you should have sent Meg some roses and asked her to come out on the set, and that could have been a great reunion and that could have rebirthed your career, right? But no, something is in your head that thinks that Tory Lanez is worth the risk of your career. And on top of that, you got a baby on the way with Danny Lake. Like you just dropping the ball all over the damn place. Like all these R&B chicks out here you could have hit, and I don't know what's going on with the baby, but somebody better Olivia Pope him real quick and help him get this straight because he's going on he's about to get canceled. Now you messing with the LBGT, like you really out here risking it all for what? I don't understand. And I don't know if y'all saw the clip of where he went on a rant about, gay people and HIV and all this stuff. Like, why you just couldn't say where my ladies at? Like, was it really worth? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been like, where my ladies? Like, why are you on stage talking about HIV? Like, what is even on your mind? It was all very weird, strange, and I don't know what's going on with baby dog.
He trying to put too much sauce on it.
It was too much sauce. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. All you gotta say, where my pretty independent ladies at? And
We going crazy.
It works every time.
I mean, he could have been like,
you getting the applause every time.
Like, out of all the things you say, you get up there talking about HIV and giving head in the car. Like, what are you talking about? So, you know, I don't know. Y'all pray for the baby because it ain't looking good. It is not looking good.
Here I go about to be the one to say the craziness right now. The baby, I've seen this happen. I've been around this business long enough. If the baby does not clean this up and come out with a hit record and stop talking all the time, he is going to find himself on the outside of this stuff looking in. Now, see, back, like we were talking about, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, it took a while for you to get canceled. It happens fast in 2021. But you don't produce hits, and you only got a couple months not to give us hits, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You'll slowly disappear because there's new dudes coming, constantly doing what they're doing, right? The baby has to do another thing. He has to stop talking because he's not a smart guy. He wants to be a smart guy, but he's not a smart guy. He needs to have somebody say, hey, say this. And that's it. And just rock out. Because for what he said about homophobic and all of this stuff and talking about trying to explain it, talking about you wasn't at the show, wasn't meant for you and all, bro, you said something wild and it was stupid. It was literally stupid. It was no reason for you to even say anything about that. None. Nobody cares. Literally at a concert, no one cares.
No.
Nobody's thinking about people giving head or doing whatever, gay, straight. Everybody's there to hear you perform. And you took this time to say, hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all got HIV, dying of STDs, and giving head in the car. What?
See, okay, this is I gotta take up for the baby a little bit. I think
T.I. tried to double down on it.
Oh yeah.
T.I. is not the time.
Shut up. If you want to know who needs to shut up, it's T.I. Okay? Because you that's like getting jumped, and then you in the middle of getting jumped, you trying to help somebody over their fight while you getting jumped. Well, no, you in the middle of a fight yourself. You need to figure this out while you getting beat up. You don't have any resources to help anybody. And that is not who I would want coming to my defense right now in 2021 is T.I. But I really think that the baby was trying to be cool and say like something provocative to get the crowd screaming. You know how you
stupid.
Yeah,
he's not a smart dude, bro. Listen to the explanation. I want everybody that's watching the pod or listening to the pod, listen to this explanation. It's the stupidest thing you ever heard. Like Keke says, that it's really nothing. It's like, why can't you just get why you just didn't say where my lady's at, bro? Why you just rep some part of town?
Classic comic line when you're doing bad on stage, and that you said that joke and it didn't hit. All right, y'all, give it up for the ladies. That's what you do. Give it up for the ladies, because ladies love to give it up for themselves and they like to clap. Then you try. That's like a reset. Now you got to start some new. That's what he had to do. He was trying to be creative.
And then they're like, bro, don't know. Like the thing of it is if you messing with communities that'll come get you. There's things that you can't do right now in 2021, which lets me know that somebody around the baby is not smart and not helping. One, you can't say anything negative about Black women at any time at all. You definitely 100% can't say anything negative towards Black people, period, right now. And definitely, you cannot say anything about the LGBTQ community. Cannot say anything about those three. You will get, they coming for you, bro. Pause.
Yeah, he ruined it.
It's just every time, bro. Like, and he ain't got no hit records right now. That's the part that's killing me. Like, yo, fam, like really, like the Tory Lanez stuff. Like, my guy, like, come on, G, you better than that.
He did not have to.
You better than that. You better than that, bro. And you got a shorty getting ready to be on the way. Like, for sure, shorty. You got to come with a hit record, because I'm telling you, I keep telling y'all, man, child support is real. They want their money, bro. They want their money. So you got to keep creating income, or else Yeah, bro, you gonna go to jail. But anyway, let's go to this. Speaking of, well, not even speaking of, I don't even know what to say about this, bro. Gunna's outfit. What? Gunna's outfit rolling loud. I'm not, again, I want to get canceled. I want no issues. Mm-hmm. I just saying, as a straight dude, I'm saying, wearing a penis on your shirt ain't,
I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think you're gonna get the reaction that he expected. When he picked that outfit. You wear a
penis on your shirt, Zach?
No, I'd never wear a penis on my shirt, brother. Don't come over here with that. I was just saying. I was just saying that he had penises on his shirt, multiple penises on his shirt, and he had on pink spandex pants as his Rolling Loud outfit, you know. And I'm totally against sleeveless shirts. I hate sleeveless shirts. Tone knows this. I hate sleeveless shirts. I hate sleeveless hoodies. I hate it. I don't know why. It just bothers me. The shirt was sleeveless.
I like sleeveless hoodies though. They kind of cool.
Tone likes sleeveless hoodies. I hate them. But for some reason, he felt like that was appropriate. He had a sleeveless shirt on with like a collar shirt under it that was pink. And then he had like his pink spandex pants, and he had a lot of different pink penises on the shirt. And I don't know if he got the response he wanted, or maybe it did. All I know is he doesn't have any pictures on his Instagram now. He immediately deleted everything. He has no pictures on his Instagram right now. So I guess it didn't work out for him. Gunna, good luck. You know, this is what happens when you have too much sauce. You know, you got too much swag. You don't need no stylists. You know, Gunna's one of those people who takes pride in his outfit. So I just think that I think he thought it was gonna get a different reaction than what it got. Because we looked at him
Keke, what you think of Gunna?
I don't know who's Zach speaking for. I love the outfit. I thought the outfit was great. I think it's a start of movement. All y'all need to order one of Gunna shirts. Do y'all know what that man's shirt said? It said Big D is back outside. Okay. It was a PSA to all of us ladies letting us know that it's out here if you want it. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. So I don't know why y'all hate on this man's outfit. But I think it got the response that it needed to get. And Gunna.
I know how to tell a woman that my Big D is back outside. I'm wearing gray sweats and a white tee and some ones. I'm cool. He got
That's how you do it, Gunna. If you want to let them know it's back outside, put on them gray sweatpants with no drawers. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Yes, that is the male thought outfit. Yes, it is. But Gunna just took it up a notch. So there you go. I don't think he did too much wrong.
Yeah, all right, Keke. Look, like I said, you can do whatever you want to. But yeah, bro. Yeah, that was an interesting outfit. We'll move on, man. This is an interesting thing. Kale's 52-page federal court document. So his Fed case is going to start in August. We were talking about this last part. We wondering when is his case going to start. There are new accusations about Kale, saying that he messed with 2 underage boys, 17 years old, and also paid off allegedly a Cook County court. At this point, do you think Kales is ever going to get out of jail, Keke?
No, I don't. I think, y'all ever play Mortal Kombat and it'd be like, finish him. Like, come to that point where it'd be like, finish him. Like, he's finished. Okay, we can all, we not getting no money. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they say R. Kelly did at this point, he did all that shit. You know what I'm saying? He did. He did everything they said he did. Whatever they say this man did, he probably did it. So therefore, it's a wrap for R. Kelly. I feel like with Bill Cosby getting out, Kale's fired his team or they left or whatever, and he probably felt like, I got a chance. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to beat this. I'm gonna get out of here. And I promise you, I really feel like they sat in a meeting and was like, okay, unlock the here go the cheat code. Like, let's finish him. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I done lost hope. I really have. And R. Kelly, you did the crime. You got to be held accountable, man. Like, you was really out here like the raper man in Chicago. That is crazy, and
I'm not gonna lie, I'm floored. I'll say why in a minute, man. But go ahead, Zach.
I'm just gonna end it like you can go ahead, Tom, but I'm just gonna say this. I guess I'm not gonna get that new Kels album.
You can let it go, baby. We gonna be stepping in the name of love to the rest.
Yeah, that's it. But you know what? The good thing is he's given us so much good music that I got enough. So he's giving us enough to hold me over. But yeah, it's a wrap. There ain't no new Kels. I was like, damn, maybe Kels will get out and make something. Nope, over with. He's done.
It's like
it's over. He's never make another record.
It's like when you hear about it in the hood. We all know when you hear about somebody get arrested, and you be like, oh yeah, he'll be straight. Like, man, the feds came and got him. You like, oh damn. I'll see him later. Because we all know the feds make sure they got you before they don't come
unless they got you. Mm-hmm.
And the fact, and listen to the report of the documents, they were saying that they had voice recordings, they had screen recordings, they had pictures, they had basically, this is the crazy thing, seemed like they had tapped this dude's phone in a sense. So they got things of him and just a lot of other wild accusations that I'm not going to go into, but it's super wild. Like, it's super wild. And it's like at this point, you wonder, like, this dude has some type of demonic possession. Like, the way this is just, it's like, yo, like, I really had real conversations with Kels. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not about life and about music and about creating stuff and advice to me about, man, how to navigate my career. For real, like real sit down conversations. No freaky, no nothing, no craziness, no girls trapped, chained and nothing. It's people partying. We sit down and multiple conversations. So it's almost like, for me, and I'm like I said, I'm not discrediting anything that the victims, but for me, it's like the person that was friends with the serial killer. You hear, and they're like, I never thought he could do that. Like, what the hell? He had bodies buried under his basement, and he literally would come to my house and have dinner, and those type of stories you hear. That's what, honestly, 100% what I feel when especially about the court documents. I was like, damn, they was on it, and I don't think Kels will probably ever see the light of day again.
Never. Listen, when the feds come, they got you. The feds don't come when they not sure. When the feds come, they win, like, their percentage in court is like 98% because they don't miss.
I think that's why the lawyers quit. They probably got these court documents before they were released to the public. I'm more than sure they got them beforehand. And they were like, they saw all of this, they're like, oh no, this we're gonna lose.
You're done.
I don't want to take no more of this man's money. It makes no sense. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like I said, like, for people that are watching it, you can listen to the report. It's out. CBS Chicago, they did a report on it. And it was just saying, it was one of the reporters. He's like, I read all 52 pages of it, and this is what was in it. And people are like, oh my gosh, the little boys. It's just, when you hear about this stuff, with the young men, then you start thinking like, damn, was, man, all of this stuff all true? Because and I really think more of when those federal papers get released and when he goes to, it's going to be more stuff that comes to light. It's going to have probably everybody that's ever been around him in the way I was, is like, what the hell? What the hell, bro? Like, what were you doing? What's wrong with you? That's really what, like, that's really my mindset. Like, I just, like, fam, like, that's evil. Like, that's super evil. Like, it's nothing else I can think of. Like, that's evil. Yeah. And it blew me away today, man.
Yeah, Kels is done.
It's been horrible. It's been bad. I'm glad we all got the refresher that we needed to all come to terms with. He ain't never getting out.
Never.
Yeah. And
never see the light of day.
Yeah, as he shouldn't. You know,
yeah, he shouldn't have. I ain't gonna lie to you. He took advantage of them little boys. You can't defeat
girls. I mean, it was bad 2 years ago. Like, this ain't new information.
It was bad in the 90s when we saw the tape.
Okay, when AJ Nothing But a Number came out.
But see, the thing is, he got out and he put out great music because he's a musical genius. So he went out and relied on his musical geniusness to make us forget.
Yes.
And that's what he does. He knows he does that well. He knows that's his strong point that you just, like, he makes music you can't deny. It's so good, you can't deny it, you know? So he's like, if you get me back in the studio, I can beat all this. That's what that's probably what he's thinking.
Not this time, Robert. Not this time.
But this time, Rob, they done took the studio from you. It's a wrap.
It's the same. Gotham City, and I might listen to that when we done podcast.
Like I said,
it's the same dude that he rode the Batmobile through the West Side. I was like, well, it's one of my most proud moments.
I forgot about Gotham City.
Creep.
Come on, man. Look, come on.
He wrote Fortunate by Maxwell.
Y'all, it don't matter. Let it go. Let's just take a moment.
He had the Batmobile, Keke.
Let's just take a moment of silence to all come to terms.
Let's do it. I think we should do that as a pod right now.
I think we need to. This is it. It's over. There you go. R. Kelly.
It's over.
Sorry.
It's over.
Yeah, it's done.
Yep.
Tough.
It's done.
That's tough.
All right. Before we wrap the pod up, we definitely gotta go to a relationship sort of question. Dr. Dre's wife received $3.5 million a year in spousal support now. Even with this dude having a prenup. First of all, what kind of money does Dr. Dre have when he can just shell out $3.5 million for the rest of this woman's life until she decides to get married? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Is this fair? Is this fair?
I don't know. I don't know how much Dr. Dre's worth.
It's fair.
Because you got to look. We don't know what his accounts look like. And you got to also know Dr. Dre probably got most of his money. If you go to Dr. Dre's closet, see, I remember when Dr. Dre showed us his closet in his house and stuff. House probably paid for. Everything he has is probably already paid for. So everything coming in is just coming in. You know what I'm saying? If you looked in his closet, he had black tees and 1 million pairs of all white Air Force Ones. We know how much all white Air Force Ones cost. $90. $90 to a billionaire is like $2. Okay. So his accounts may look stupid. He's one of them people that you can tell is frugal. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a flashy dude. So he probably has a lot of money. And that 300,000 compared to what people, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like a lot to us, but compared to what he has, it may be fair. And she's been with him for over 18 years?
Yes.
She did the time. Like, it wasn't like she was one of them chicks that came in when he was already a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? She built with that man. And I'm just gonna say it since we on the pod. We know, we've heard about Dr. Dre's violent streak. You know, you've been with somebody 18 years.
I can't. I'm just gonna wait patiently for what I would say. I'll wait patiently.
He might have knocked her upside the head a few times. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Yeah. Might have. And if he has, allegedly, he might have. And if he might have or allegedly has, then you know, she kind of deserved 300,000 a month. And I hate to say that because it sounds like such an enormous amount of money. But you're talking about a billionaire, brother. Do you know what a billion is?
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna say my piece after Keke.
Go ahead, Keke.
Keke, is this fair?
Yes, it is. It's very fair. You know that it was fair in the court of law, so it is what it is. You know, I listen, men. You want to get married and you want women to stick by you through all of your cheating and your abuse alleged and, you know, all a type of other stuff y'all put women through. And, you know, she has become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And because you decide you woke up today and don't want me after 20 years, does not mean that my lifestyle is supposed to change. So a lot of people were hitting me up saying, this is crazy, Keke. You know, she robbing him. She did it. Hey, listen. I may be a rich man's wife one day, and baby, if he wake up and decide he don't want me no more, I need to still be able to get the same sew-in I was getting when we was together. Okay, I need to be able to order the same meals we was getting together, same outfits, everything. So therefore, I don't think it's unfair. I think sis did what needed to be done, and I wish her well in her endeavors.
Okay, there's several sides to this.
Yes.
One, if you are a woman that you and your husband decide to say, you know what, babe, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to do anything. I'm going to take care of it. Mm-hmm. There's that, right? So you can't really put a price tag on that and what that represents, right? But there is the situation where you should say the spousal support doesn't make sense in a sense. If it doesn't make for the rest of your life, because you know this person's going to get this type of money. They're not going to fall in love with somebody and say, you know what, I'm going to get married to lose this money. That's a joke. To even have that that's just a joke. I think, again, I've said this before about child support, about a lot of things, that you cannot just look at it one way. Every case is different. Mm-hmm. Every relationship is different. Although they do have its similarities, everything is different. And I'm saying, like, if first thing you want to hear a woman say, well, she helped him build this and she helped him do, well, you know what? She's entitled to, like anyone else, to a percentage of what he's making.
And that's what I'm saying is that percentage may be that percentage, if that makes sense, because he's so rich. And it seems astronomical to us because that just seems like a hell of a lot of money. But she may just be getting that percentage, Tone, that you're talking about. He's just a billionaire.
Okay, I mean, maybe that's it. It's just when there's cases where you hear like Keke said, I need to live the same lifestyle that I was living. Well, I disagree with that.
What?
We not living
20 years of marriage?
When the marriage is over, I feel uncomfortable. So you think you should live like a billionaire? You should not be struggling. No, I don't think. I wouldn't want my ex-wife to struggle. I wouldn't want her to be struggling. But why would you have it? We live in a $30 million crib. You live in a $30 million crib. You want a $30 million crib. No, you get you a $1 million crib. You get what you can afford because we're not together no more. And if you look, that's the thing. Women want you to feel sorry for them in a way because you got with the dude that wanted to take care of you, and y'all made a decision both that, hey, I'm gonna take my hands off the wheel. That's what I don't believe in it. This is
marriage. Hold on. This ain't I want you to listen to me. This is a marriage that we both agreed to for a lifetime.
When it's over, Keke, what's fair? What's fair?
What's fair?
What's fair? Like Zach makes sense. If the $3.6 million is a percentage of the businesses that he helped take it, and if that is that how it is, that's
but
really
there's a lot of times because he's got the best lawyers. Yeah, he's got the best lawyers. He prolonged this
earning potential.
He prolonged it for a long time. He's had the best lawyers. This has been a back and forth thing for months. Yeah. I don't think his lawyers gave him a raw deal. I just don't.
No.
I'm like, damn, for the rest of your life. I mean, like I said, if you
that's how alimony works, is for the rest of your life. So if we got a problem with the court system, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying?
Marriage is supposed to be for a lifetime. And, you can't just, because we're not together after 20 years, my lifestyle should not significantly
But I'm paying you now to
stay the same. Plus, you still get all the earning potential because we agreed that I would be a stay-at-home wife, right? I would not work. So now, 20 years later, I can't go get a job down at the local Walmart because me and you ain't together. No, you and I made a verbal agreement that I was not to work. So till I die, I'm not working. You working for us. And there you go. And that's why she
okay. You want to get spicy? I'm just gonna say, if you want to think about it logical, anything else, anything in life that I'm paying for, I can always use.
No. Not
and that's where it's not fair. That's where it's not fair.
I should still be able to hit
every now and then. Yep.
Toxic Tony,
not all the time.
Everybody.
Once or twice.
Toxic Tony has entered the chat. Everybody.
Once a month. If I gotta pay you once a month, I should be able to hit it once a month.
No, absolutely not.
At least.
Absolutely not.
You know how that's the thing. I'm gonna tell you, and let's take Dr. Dre out the table. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that drives men nuts, in a sense of where they're like, "Yo, we divorced. We just couldn't stand each other." Because a lot of times in relationships, it's not the cheating. That's the easy thing. It was cheating. It was this. It was that. A lot of times, stuff in because people just can't rock with each other no more. Mm-hmm. So we can't stand each other anymore, and we get divorced. And then you say, "Hey, I want the house." Like, how can you afford this house? How can you afford this house? Why don't we split this house, sell it, we split it, and then you go get you a crib. It's not gonna be this house because you don't have the ability to pay for this house. You don't.
But you
don't have the ability. I'm going, like you said, I do, but my thing is, going back to my statement, now I'm gonna let you go in the house, you're gonna be in the house. And now we having sex with dudes and going out with dudes, and I'm paying for all of this. So literally, as a man, you think about this though, Keke, there is a level of unfairness in this, where as a man, I'm taking care of your household and my household, but I only get the benefits of this household.
Yes.
That's unfair. That is unfair.
So this is okay. So and if you want to rock like that, Keke,
I get it.
This is why I said it's tough to be a dude.
Unfair.
Because a woman would not. She lose her. Look at Britney Spears. Britney Spears a mess. Look at Britney Spears. Look at her.
Because it's hard to be a woman. Yes.
Because no, she's getting the same thing happen to her as a man would have happened to her. You got a dude taking the kids, getting paid child support, getting paid alimony, all of that stuff. And she's taking care of 2 houses, 2 households, and she's just gone. She's gone. Look at her. She looks like a stressed woman because she's going through the things that men do. I'm
gonna say this too. Nobody ever says, I think Mary J. Blige had to pay her husband alimony. Nobody was like, oh my God, he deserves that. No, they trashed that man. Nobody was like, he deserves this life.
He cheated. Y'all know.
Regardless, no, Keke.
He cheated.
Don't do that. But regardless of what happened,
we don't know what Mary did either. We don't know.
Nothing.
All we know is he was accustomed. No, your points was he was accustomed to the lifestyle, not what happened to make him break up. You didn't say when Dr. Dre thing. You didn't say he cheated. You know what I'm saying? You said that he was accustomed. She's accustomed to this, and well, guess what? So was this man that was married to Mary J. Blige. But it's just like Tone said, it's just different when you're a man. Nobody has any empathy for a man. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell my wife, look, we're gonna be miserable together forever.
Thank you.
You're not. She know that. I told her that. Listen, she told me she wanted to get married. I looked her in the face. I said, I don't believe in divorce. Because I know what the system is. I know what the system look like, and I know my trajectory. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is it. If you want to do this, you're gonna have to rock with me to the end. I don't care if we hate each other. We're gonna hate each other in the same house, married.
That's not healthy, but I agree.
Okay.
I agree that I agree that
hate each other.
If it's me, if it like it happened to Wendy Williams, right? If it's me, I'm probably gonna kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? We all
damn.
So like, cause I'm not paying. I refuse. I will have my money in y'all accounts. I'm not paying for you and no other chick. So you know what I'm saying? I understand that.
Look at how turned up you getting. Look, that's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying, Keke. I'm done. We don't have nothing else to say. Look how lit you doing. You literally going, because when a woman is faced with the realities of what men have to deal with in some of these situations, y'all would lose. It'll be a lot more murder cases for women. It would be some craziness. And dudes have to eat it. That's all I'm saying. Dudes have to sit back and eat it. Now, again, the Dr. Dre situation might be different, but it's a lot of situations where dudes are paying for two households.
No, it's not even just dudes though, Tone. The breadwinner has to eat it.
Thank you.
And that's what makes it messed up. The person who makes the most money got to eat the relationship ending, no matter how it ended.
Yes.
And so we really got a problem with the court system. That's the flaw. We can look at each situation, and pick a situation, but the flaw is in the system. Why do I have to pay for your lifestyle for the rest of your life or until you get remarried? That's wild. Who made that up? That's the problem.
Keke, the laws were made when y'all couldn't vote and y'all had no rights and y'all couldn't work. Y'all are whole functioning human beings. These were made when people had no rights. Black folks or women, we like the same thing. No, except black folks are getting treated worse than women. It was definitely bad if you was a black woman. This is when dudes would say, "I'm married to you, Keke," and then one day be like, "You know what? I ain't never coming home. See you later," and leave you stanky. And now you got this woman that's got kids, and this dude that went off and started a whole nother family, and now you on Skid Row with kids. This was to prevent dudes from jetting on their family, right?
Absolutely, yes.
But my thing, that's because women couldn't work. Yeah. And again, circles back to what I said all the time. I personally think a woman is nuts not to work. Nuts. It's literally going into a partnership and I get it. If people want to stay home and I'm not taking anything away from housewives. I think they're amazing. But I think that human beings, we should all be working and earning our way because we never know what's gonna happen. Right. You never know. Look at if I'm the only one earning money and doing what we do, Keke, imagine doing what we do.
That's very risky.
And all of a sudden, they're like, "Yo, we're going another direction." Mm-hmm. The whole crib is done. It's cooked. It's cooked. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it when you Dr. Dre, it's different. These people that live in the higher income bracket different. Yeah. I just think us as middle-class Americans should be always, we one bad moment away from everything falling apart. Now, I personally would never be comfortable with a woman not working. Never. In my life, I would never, like, hey, you take a maternity leave, get everything cool, but we're gonna figure this out. How you got to work, and even if you don't want to go back to that job, how you gonna sell Amazon stuff? Them little classes they tell you can sell stuff on Amazon and make money from the crib. Something.
So like you gotta do something. You gonna make body butter? What you gonna do? Because everybody in here work. I understand that. I really do understand that, Tone. I do.
Body butter.
But for my ladies and fellas who are going into relationships and that your partner doesn't want to work or they don't have the earning potential that you do, to protect your assets, get a prenup. Get a prenup. Get the paperwork straight from the get-go. God forbid you never have to use it, but that way you don't have to contemplate murder. You know what I'm saying? After your divorce. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, Wendy's situation, Mary's situation, I don't know if I'm strong enough to deal with that. I don't.
Exactly. Again.
So,
living like a man, Keke. All right, cool. Final thoughts. Go ahead, close it up, Keke. Come on.
Final thoughts is shout out to the Pod Fam. I saw y'all tagging us in this Dr. Dre topic throughout the week, so we had to pod about it. But I don't feel bad for billionaires. I just don't. So, hold your head, Dr. Dre, in April. I heard he's dating Omarion baby mama. So, I'm sure she ready to get on in there and get what she could get. So, you know, I just have your paperwork in order. If you know you the breadwinner, when you go into a relationship and a marriage, just have your paperwork ready. Candy Burris taught us how to do that on Real Housewives. So, you know, that's all. That's my final thoughts.
Zach Boog, do you have a prayer or no?
Yes, I do. And speaking of paperwork, this prayer is about people getting their paper. So everybody, please bow your heads.
Yes.
Tone. Thank you. Dear Lord, I just want to take this time to pray for the older ladies I see that I've noticed lately been hopping on OnlyFans. Dear Lord, I want to let you know that OnlyFans is a young girl's game. And I've been starting to see people over the hill hopping on there trying to get their paper together. And dear Lord, I just ask that they do the right things with the OnlyFans, Lord. I subscribed to one of these old folks channels and it was very old. You know, I saw a young lady on there. She was stirring greens butt naked. I didn't know what was going on, Lord. She had on White Diamonds perfume, Lord. Lord, I don't know what's going on, Lord. I just ask that you please, matter of fact, Lord, just take the OnlyFans away from people over the hill, okay? I'm gonna let you know. If you drop your bra and them breasts fall out like a loose baby neck, please.
What the hell?
Please don't. Please get rid of that OnlyFans.
What the
hell? Man. And you know what? I'm just going to there. This I ask in your name. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
I'm not saying.
Why are you like that, bro?
I'm not saying.
Why?
No.
Amen.
Why is that fool like that?
What's wrong with him? Y'all
final thoughts, man. I appreciate you. Somebody sent a very nice message on Instagram about the pod. Man, it makes the person have fun. They look forward to it. They go back and re-watch stuff, re-listen to stuff. They tell people about it. I really want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody else that hot 70 that listens right away as soon as that pod drop. We appreciate you too. Keep sharing the pod, keep subscribing, hitting the like button, keep following all our pages. You know what it is, man. What more can I say? Hey, what's up? That's right. Welcome to it. That's right. What More Can I Say podcast. This is a special edition brought to you by Hennessy. It is the Never Stop, Never Settle Society interview series. And we have, that's right, a member of the Never Stop, Never Settle interview series, a member of the Never Stop, Never Settle Society, Jason Locust. What's up, my brother?
My man, how y'all doing, man? I'm very glad to be here, man, and thank you for having me as a guest. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here. Hennessy is here. We're here to celebrate Black entrepreneurs, right? And being business owners, and really, we're looking to inspire. That's what this is all about. Never Stop, Never Settle Society is built to inspire other entrepreneurs, either currently or new ones that want to become entrepreneurs. So we want everybody to take a watch and listen, because I'm sure you're about to drop tons of gems on everybody. Jason, man, let's jump right into it, man. Let's find out the background. Let's give us a little background.
Okay. So my background is essentially men's style. Well, I went to school for business management and labor relations, but in school I had come into like a retail job, working in Cleveland, and I really liked it. I was working with people. I was, doing a little bit of styling. I kind of liked it. So I decided to pursue it a bit more serious. And that's when I decided to go from New York to Cleveland to pursue a career in menswear. And when I say menswear, I mean men's clothing. I'm talking men's clothing, not streetwear. Like grown men clothing. I was in the skate world for a very long time. So I wanted to do something different. And that was essentially my start. I went to New York. I got an internship with the designer. And then that's how I started working at Ralph Lauren. I mean, I've done a lot, man. I've been there for maybe around 10 years, but my ultimate background is the fashion industry, and I've worked in a lot of different genres, from retail to product presentation, also to creative. And that would be like when I worked for Ralph, I would go around and do like some of the mannequins and stuff. So I've had a lot of different, I've seen a lot of different aspects of the business.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna get into the streetwear part of it and the grown men and how you feel about that, because as you can see, I'm a streetwear guy.
No doubt.
I'm a streetwear guy, so I love to hear. I would love to hear from your point of view. But I know Keke's got some questions too, man. What's going on, Keke?
Now, you mentioned working with, Ralph Lauren and people like that. Like, how do you start this type of journey? So many people want to get into fashion, but they don't quite know where to start. How do you start?
I think the one thing you need, and I don't mean to be cliche when I say this, but you have to be passionate about it, because passion is the only thing that really keeps you going when things aren't going well.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the only thing that keeps you.
Money, I get it. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, to be honest, I really believe passion is the way, because even like, for instance, when I worked at Ralph Lauren, there was a man named John Vazone. He was the creative director of Purple Label. Now, he was a big wig. I didn't know him, but now since I've started our publication, he's a contributor now. And, we talk all the time. I mean, someone that I knew and I admired for years is a friend. And I've had, I have the opportunity to work with him on a consistent basis. So I believe all of that really came from passion. I mean, there's obviously some, a piece where you have to show results at some point,
right?
But I believe the determining factor for me was just being passionate and just keep asking questions and just being passionate and just literally like never stopping and never settling. Literally.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, so at one point, I know there's many points throughout a journey, right? There's many of them. But what point did you say, you know what, I need to be an entrepreneur, and you felt like you needed to go out and start what you're doing?
To be honest with you, probably, I really knew, like probably when I was 18, I knew I would end up working for myself, because I just don't, I don't have the personality to, I just not a personality for it. It just would not work. And that was an issue I ran into in a lot of my other positions. The problem that we run into as a community in the corporate world sometimes is you may come across a person, like for instance, for me, there was no growth opportunity no place I worked, because the person in charge of me didn't want me to do well. So you can't grow under a person that doesn't want you to do well. And I kept running into those circumstances because I was one of those guys. I never stopped studying. I could sell very well. And I think there was some intimidation in there with people that may have been over me. So after that, and I saw like I kept getting screwed over, I figured I would just take the chances on myself. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I was doing okay, but I wasn't making $1 million. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't making a ton of money. So I was just like, I don't need it just didn't work. Like there was no way it was going to work. I was maybe like 20. When did I decided to step back? I was maybe like 28 years old when I decided to start that. And that was when I kind of branched off into like custom clothing, to where I would make people's clothes. And that was how I initially started. And then just from me being just really embracing the lifestyle that I teach people about was really how I came to a lot of the opportunities that were like down the line. But a lot of it just came from just being true to the things that I would speak about.
Right. So really quick. So Jason, you also, so it's a tailor, it's a stylist, it's also a publication. Talk about each one of those for us real quick.
Okay. So now, and just to clarify, now I'm really no longer in the business of selling clothes. I've completely stepped away from that. That is that's a place in the industry that's a little congested for me. I don't really, it's a bit too congested. I don't want to fight over crumbs. I would just rather go where no one is and just control that space. So my publication, RBM Magazine, essentially is a magazine. My brother is he's our operations officer. He's also has his PhD in research. And we actually created a category for this. It's actually called CID, and that's cultural identity development. A lot of Black men did not have the opportunity to get educated on certain things. Like, I'm 34 years old. The average guy my age is unclear. There are some things in there. Like, for instance, the average guy now does not know his suit size. Like now, and the thing is, that's unacceptable. Like, people don't know that, but that's unacceptable. Like, there's no way you should not know your size. That's like not knowing your shoe size.
Yep.
So it's equivalent to the same. So I wanted to let guys know that there's no way, like, you know, if we're gonna be grown men, like, let's do grown men things, and grown men dress like grown men. That's just a part of being a man. I don't think you have to, you know, wear a suit every day, but when you wear it, knock someone's head off. You know, don't wear it wrong. Don't wear it cheap.
Yes.
Right. Just do it right. And that's really how I was able to convert a lot of people, because I'm, as you all can probably tell, I'm very upfront about things. And, you know, I live in Atlanta. So, you know, you see cats, you know, throwing money around, and I look at their suit and I'd be like, yeah, that's not it, player. That's not the way to go. I mean, you know, because one thing that I heard Kenny Burns say that was very true and it was very powerful. Everything has to match. I think it's counterproductive to have a presidential Rolex and a suit from Express. It just doesn't make sense. And that's like, I mean, right. And the thing is, but again, though, that's no disrespect to anyone, but you have to have a level of awareness. That is not okay. To a person that is familiar with that lifestyle, you look fraudulent. And these are the things I try to educate people on. Not to be an asshole, just to make people aware.
Yep.
And that's really what the magazine is for, to make people aware, to teach guys the intricacies of men dress: daytime, evening, formal, semi-formal. Like, dressing is an art form within itself. And as much as our community subscribes to that, I think, you know, we should do a much better job at being educated on it.
I think what you're saying is so, like, man, so on point, because a guy that, like myself, athletic, went right into radio, hip hop, and they're like, yo, you know, your grandma's telling you gotta wear a suit. You need to have a suit. Yeah, other people like, I ain't wearing no suit. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing that. I wear a hat. This is how I make my money. This is what I do. Right. I wear t-shirts. You know, these and that nature. And then as I got with Hennessy and I saw dudes that I knew were just like me, we had similar backgrounds, but when it was time to get clean, they came and my suit looked different than their suit. I was like, wait a minute. Right. I need to understand it and watch. And that's one of the outstanding things that I've learned from Hennessy is just the culture that surrounds. It's a luxury. It's a luxury brand. Well, see, and I what you're speaking to is so amazing in that way that you're teaching Black men in our culture, because we can get wrapped up in things that don't match. We can go get this and not have that. When really it all starts with, like you said, with the way you look and being addressed in those moments the right way.
Well, even too, for guys, you know, I've had a lot of guys say to me, I'll say, you know, when I was clienteling, I say, hey, you know, guys would come in, Jay, I lived in Atlanta. Jay, I need a suit for tonight. I have an event. And I'll say, okay, what are you looking to do? And to be honest with you, I'll have a lot of guys say to me, you know, whatever's going to get me laid, whatever's going to get me attention. And I'm just like, well, that is totally the wrong approach to take. And that is not what you want to do. It's actually the last thing you want to do. You want to dress for yourself. That's the way to approach that. And again, that's the point of the magazine, to get guys out of the mannequin sense of dressing and even a sense of uncertainty. I think the guy, like the sense of a guy having to take his mom or his girlfriend with him is just ridiculous. If she wants to come, that's one, like take your girl with you, but it's like, you as a man, you should be able to pick your ensemble out yourself. Like, I mean, that's what guys did in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Like, somewhere along the line there was a disconnect, and me being in Atlanta, I've been able to convert a lot of young guys back to dressing the way I am now. Like Atlanta has been, over the past 10 years, has become very conservative because I've mentored a lot of guys. Then those guys have turned out mentoring guys. So yeah, Atlanta's a very conservative city. Like as of late, like if you step out, you'll see a huge difference. And I remember when I was the only guy in Privé with a suit on. You know what I'm saying? I remember it vividly. But now, it's very refreshing to look around and see younger guys. I mean, brothers in their 20s, like 26, 27, killing it. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Privé too. Had great nights there.
Oh yeah, shout out to Privé, shout out to Shine Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Gotta holla at the Shine.
Hey Keke, I know you got some more questions. I want, especially coming from a lady, I would love to hear some more.
Well, I really just want to know, because you guys talk about mentoring the young men. Now, a lot, like you say, a lot of men need this, okay? I still be picking out my boyfriend clothes. So that's a problem, okay? I'm going to show him this interview. Like, see, Jason said,
yeah.
So, that's one thing. But I got to ask you, for you in your industry, in your lane, who are some of those style icons that you look up to, or that you saw their style and their look, and you were like, let me get my stuff together? Who are some of those people?
So interesting question. It's a very good question. For me, it's a bit loaded. It's a bit loaded for me. But so, for instance, I am a musician. So a lot of my inspiration came from musicians, and I'm very old at heart. To be honest with you, like what's on my playlist is not like really anything like out now. I'm a guy. I'm listening to Parliament Funkadelic, Rick James, Teddy P. Prince. I'm one of those guys. So a lot of that inspiration for me came from that era. I'm not, like, to be honest with you, especially as far as like style.
Yeah.
That it kind of stopped for me like in the 90s, kind of like after New Jack Swing, like Guy and all that stuff. Because in the 90s, that's when celebrities actually dressed and looked like celebrities, where now people just look like, I don't even know the name for it, but
that's so true.
It's just people just, I don't know. And I think a lot of that kind of came in the 2000s when a lot of that debris, as I call it.
Oh yes.
But the 90s was like the era. But I'm a big fan of I love Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole is one of my favorites. Actually James Brown too, because if you really look at James Brown, and I did a breakdown on this, James Brown, as far as his sense of dress, like prime example, and I might mess y'all up with this one. A lot of people would never know this, but actually Prince dresses a lot like James Brown. The high heels, the capes, it's very James Brown inspired. And when you study Prince's music closely, he's like an 80s James Brown. I mean, it's some of the funkiest shit you'll ever hear. It's really funky stuff. So I was able to get a lot of my inspiration from like really the music world. That's where a lot of it came from for me.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And let's just dive back into those moments, man. Like, so we switching from the clientele service and actually styling people to the magazine part, the magazine publication part. What moment was that switch? Because that's an interesting moment, because I know you say fighting for crumbs, but I mean, I know selling suits and tailoring them and making suits, that's pretty good money.
Yes. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do, well, for one, I think I was just over that at that point, probably because I did a lot of styling too. So like, for instance, and I had to even step away from that because that got a little overwhelming at a certain point. I was like, literally back in the day, you all remember when Rich Homie Quan was like extreme, like ooh was out. Like I literally acquired him as a client walking through the mall. That's how I got him. They was just like, who are you? And I'm just like, wait, what? They was like, they was like, the way you dress, like, who are you? I was just like, my name is Jay. And I'm not like a huge hip hop guy. Like, I'm very classic. Rakim, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. So again, I don't bump a lot of the new stuff. So I've met rappers in Atlanta and had no clue who they were. But a lot of them, I believe it worked for the transaction. You know what I mean? Because you know, there's a beauty, and a celebrity can appreciate the fact of someone just treating them like a regular person. And I think that alone has helped me exceed. But I was doing styling. Then the area got extremely congested. And I said, hey, what am I good at that most people aren't? What's something that's easy for me to do that most people can't? And that's when I came to the realization. I was like, I can talk about music and style pretty much in the same sense. I've mentored a lot of people. I have a name for it. There's not really a Black men's magazine. You have your Ebony's, your Jets, your Essence, but our magazine is essentially, it talks to the art of dressing. We give history on, and even how suiting, the evolution of suiting. We talk about a lot of those things. And we also even show a lot of Black men within the US who are well dressed, who are in the industry, just to give our community that level of confidence. Because if you buy a GQ, you buy a Ray, I mean, let's be real, it ain't no Black folks in there. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah. Like, right. And you know, I've gotten a lot of flack for saying stuff like that, but it's just like, you know, I've said it many times, like, look, people were getting mad at me like it was my decision not to put Black people in GQ. Like, I worked there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know what? I decided to start our own, because one thing we all know, Black people single-handedly control what's cool in culture. That's not an argument. That's a fact. And I knew that me being a Black man, I could bring a flavor to the menswear industry it's never seen before. And I just always make sure I stay, I've just always made sure I stay true to myself and never, you know, get ahead of myself. You know, I want to be the right example for Black men. And I want to give Black men, show Black men other ways to practice menswear outside of making suits. Fashion PR, fashion advertising. These are all avenues that Europeans have that make the European movement so strong. See, as Black designers, I'm gonna tell y'all what kills Black luxury right now. It's really 3 or 4 things. One, Black people don't really value Black luxury. That's one. Black people don't value it. You got Black folks out here that'll go stand their ass in line at Gucci. When there's a brother or sister that makes luxury product, I mean, I don't get it, because people don't mind using Google for anything else. Like, you can't Google a Black designer. Like, people use Google every day. Like, I don't understand it. And like, again, I think as a community, we take the wrong approach. I think it's absurd for a guy like Gucci to be named Gucci and Gucci doesn't want anything to do with him. I think that's absurd. I know people that work there. So again, I think it's the wrong approach. I believe a lot of it has to do with us just having a little bit more pride and just kind of doing our thing. Because the reality of this, I've worked high-end retail, and a lot of these brands really don't want anything to do with a lot of the people that are talking about them consistently.
Yep, and making them cool. Yep.
Right. I don't understand it. So, like, again, Black luxury can be a thing, but I mean, let's not, like, as a community, let's not make it a gimmick. I've been buying Black, so I don't need to put the hashtag there. That shit is trash. Like, just support your brother or sister and stop making a thing out of it. Just do it. Make it a way of life. You know, my father would always say when I was a kid, and I've heard this before many times, like, desegregation may have been one of the things that possibly hurt our community, because in the 20s and the 30s, you could only do business with Black people. Right. A Black ice cream parlor, Black cleaners, Black tailor. You did not have the luxury to go into Manhattan to do business with whoever you wanted. So the reality of it is that actually, in my opinion, set us back a bit, having the opportunity to just go anywhere. I think it was better when it, like, for us as a community, when it was segregated, because we didn't have a choice but to keep those dollars in our community.
Wow. I've heard that. I've definitely heard that several times. Yeah. Several times. Keke, I know you have some more to get with Jason. I have a ton. Jason, you're full of knowledge over this. This is an amazing interview right here, dog.
Thank you.
Dropping gems left and right. Yes.
Any other questions y'all got, please shoot away.
Well, I do want to ask this. Where do you see your brand in the next 5 years? What's on the vision board for Jason and in the magazine? And
so really, I want to, what I've been doing as of late, I've been connecting with a lot of a lot of Black brands and really helping them and assisting them with the advertising approach. I think that's, I mean, again, you all are, corporate, professionals. You know that there's a method to pretty much everything that has to be done with, when you're working with, a corporate company. And I want to get Black designers in that mindset, but also get people in the mindset of not trying to make all the decisions yourself. I think that is something that a lot of people are too quick to jump into. And I'm also not a big fan of like do it yourself. Like I'm a big fan of do it yourself if you can actually do that shit. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Right. Hire somebody.
Right. Exactly. Because I mean, look at it like this. This is how I'm a musician, so I apologize for all the musical analogies, but look at it like this. The biggest difference between Michael Jackson and Prince is Michael Jackson was smart enough to get the help he needed. Quincy Jones. That's why he sold more records. Mm-hmm. I personally think Prince is much more talented than Michael Jackson, but as a show, as an album, him and Michael Jackson are in a completely different world. So a lot of times, like the skill set is just like the skill set is self-awareness to say, you know what? I'm not qualified to do this. Let me find someone that can do it. Knowing, being aware. My father said this to me one time. I'm a smart man because I'm aware of my stupidity. Meaning I know what I'm not good at. So that, like, I think that's a part of it. And that's why I've been able to do well, because I know what I'm not good at. And I don't even go in the vicinity of what I'm not good at. I stay in my lane.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now there's an evolution of an entrepreneur. We're seeing it. You've talked about it from how you transitioned and grew your personal brand and your business. What were some of those speed bumps though? Talk to people how they would get beyond those speed bumps. Talk about some of the ones and how you navigate.
Man, it's it can definitely be rough. Just because there's I'm like an all in or nothing kind of guy. That's very much my mindset. So I've never been a dude to really have this going on and like have a job. That's not really my vibe. So I'm like a full force guy. And as I said earlier, I think the only thing that really keeps you through the speed bumps is the passion, because like when there's no money, there are no sales, resources, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what else keeps you there? Because it ain't nothing else but the passion. So for me, like, again, like financial issues. And I will say this too. I think one thing that has kept me in the game and has helped my speed bumps not be so crucial is because I do have a network, and like a proper network. And I think people don't really understand what networking really is. I think people think networking is just going to a place where there's music playing and you can get drinks, and it's like, nah, that's not really networking at all. You know what I'm saying? Like actually like some cliche mixer shit that no one really networks go to. Real networking is what we're doing. We're talking to each other. You know what I mean? We're building, and we'll probably work together again. There's something different that all three of us bring to the table. That's legitimate networking. It makes sense. People just be like, yeah, let me get your card. But like, for what? If there's no reason for us to do business, like what's the point? So I think a lot of it just boils down to, and that's what separates me from a lot of guys in the industry. My network, because again, I'm a musician. I know tons of people in the record industry, from musicians to performer. I mean, I know tons of people. So, and again, a lot of that inspiration has helped me in my career and my approach to how I approach marketing, advertising, all those things. But as far as the speed bumps, I would just tell people, get used to them. They ain't gonna stop. They're always gonna come. That's the best advice I can give you about a speed bump. I don't even think about it, because it ain't going nowhere. It's like speed bumps in entrepreneurships is like bills. They come in one way or the other. It ain't no way around it. It don't matter. You can say you prepared all you want. It ain't no way around it. You're gonna get them anyway.
Facts. Keke, I know you got something before we get ready to close up with Jason.
Jason, what was your biggest speed bump? I know you say they come. What was the worst one?
My biggest speed bump. What is my biggest speed bump? Jeez Louise, there's been so many of them.
I got been through so much.
Yeah, I think. What is my biggest speed bump? I would probably say getting everything together before my first issue.
Okay.
Like getting everything together, you know, like just taking all that information and transitioning it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I can imagine that. I can imagine trying to find everything out.
That was a difficult transition for me.
I can imagine that.
But I mean, you know, I came through it. It was something. Yeah, I don't like it, man. Yeah, it was rough, man.
That was cool. You don't even want to think about it no more. I understand.
Yeah, we understand. But before we close out, because this is something that I know people that are gonna watch this, and of course, I am a streetwear enthusiast, and I'm also become a suit enthusiast too as well. Okay. I remember it was a point, like you said, you hit so many buttons. I did not know my suit size. I did not know my dress shirt size. I did not, I didn't even know what my look was and the feel of it was. What would you say to guys like myself before I've gotten, I've done my transition? What would you say to guys like, yo, why should they come out of streetwear? Because we all know you can get a $350 t-shirt, you can get nice jeans, you can get sneakers. What's the purpose in that in your aspect to get to
like
that?
The purpose from what? Like clarify, because I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
Okay, so I'm saying, what would you told a younger Tone Kapone when he said, "Man, I'm fine, bro. I make money dressing like this. I'm cool. I'm been good in any situations. Why should I even stress about getting a suit?"
I think that, I mean, I just look at it like this. I just always preach proper dress. You know what I mean? Like, again, that's the point of the, like, I just look at it like this. Whatever you do, just knock it out the park. So if it's streetwear, knock it out the park. But I just feel like guys need to just know suiting, know where the sleeves should fall, know where your trousers should fall, all of those different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, you have to know those things. So that's what I would say. Just know how to properly wear a suit. That's kind of the way to go. Just knowing how to wear a suit, and that's the way to go. Like, just being able to do each genre of dress right. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. I mean, what you're saying is, I feel, you said it earlier in the interview, it all goes together with it, being an entrepreneur in my mind. I feel like it's making everything match. It's knowing all the different aspects and the things that you don't know, you find out from. You've given all of these different jewels throughout the thing. And I think you, again, falling back to what you said at the beginning of the interview, because it's amazing. It's the fact that men should know how to dress. You should not just know how to wear one thing as a man. You should be able to dress for every occasion.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's a good look, man. I mean, and that's the way to go. That's definitely the way. Excuse me. That's the way to go, man. Just being able to knock it out the park. That's the way to go.
Love it, love it. So before we let you go, of course, Hennessy, never stop, never settle. That is our mantra. What would you say is your never stop, never settle moment? And what does it mean to you?
My never stop, settle moment is just, I mean, to be honest, I feel like I'm living it every day, because I mean, you're an entrepreneur. So, I mean, the grind doesn't stop. So for me, it's a day-to-day thing. It's a day-to-day thing.
Love it. I love it. Jason, man, you have dropped so many jewels. I want people to be inspired by you, bro. Tell them how they can stay in contact with you. Please give socials and everything.
JAYGATS, J Gats, and you can also follow RBM Media Group on Instagram. We post every day and we curate content day to day that help guys curate their style and kind of put the dots together. But again, we use references that people in our culture are familiar with. So movies like Harlem Nights, like things that we are familiar with as a community. So, I mean, check the page out, man. It's great.
Love it. I love it, man. Me and Keegan and What More Can I Say podcast. We appreciate you doing this. We hope everybody is inspired. And of course, remember to never stop and never settle.